Nebraska's offense is going to look completely different next season. Sophomore quarterback Raiola is expected to make a huge jump. They have a new feature running back in Emmett Johnson. But most importantly, Nebraska has a new offensive coordinator with a full offseason under his belt. Yes, Dana Holgorsen. So in today's video, I'm going to outlook what Nebraska's offense is actually going to look like in 2025. Is it going to be an air raid, a balanced attack? Are we still going to have a power rushing game? What players shine in Holgorsen's philosophy? And which players sink, and so much more. So really quick, this is a big time video outlooking Nebraska's offense next year. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content, takes 2 seconds and it really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. It can help us out more than you would know. Once again, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking about what Nebraska's offense is actually going to look like next season with Dana Holgorsen completely at the helm. Now, Dana Holgorsen, not completely new for Nebraska. He was their coordinator for the final 4 games last year for USC, Wisconsin, Iowa, in the bowl game versus Boston College, but he really didn't have a say in the philosophy. When you join mid-season, all you can really do is call plays. Okay, he didn't know the philosophy. He really barely knew the personnel. He's still learning names. But now with a full offseason under his belt and with Matt Rhule publicly stating that he is not going to oversee the offense at all, it's Dana Holgorsen's show, it's going to look completely different next season. It's not going to be a Marcus Satterfield, Matt Rhule offense anymore. So the big question, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Is Nebraska going to have an air raid offense next year? Well, the easy answer is no. Nebraska will not have an air raid throwing the football 65% of the time offense. It's not going to happen. And that can't happen in the Big Ten. But if you think Nebraska is going to have a smash mouth football team, run the football 55-60% of the time, that's also not going to happen. We will pass the football more than we run it. We will be a balanced attack favoring the pass with Raiola. We will throw about 55% of the time. He's done that at West Virginia. He's done that at Houston. He learned under Mike Leach. He's not an air raid guy. I think that's a misconception about Dana Holgorsen, but he absolutely prefers the passing game. What can we expect from this passing game? Okay, that is now the staple of this offense with Matt Rhule. Well, first things first, Dana Holgorsen loves his quick passes, his screens, his little slants down the middle, his outs. Okay, he knows how to get shifty receivers involved. That's something that Marcus Satterfield, he had no idea how to get his receivers involved. No idea. Okay, Jamal Banks was incredibly talented by Nebraska. He was incredibly talented. Marcus Satterfield had no idea how to get him involved. No idea. He would run him on go routes, on crossers. That's not how you get Jamal Banks the football. You put him on these intermediates, okay, on these comeback routes. Let him use his size. Satterfield did not do that. Although Jamal Banks is no longer with Nebraska, graduated, we now have an offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen, who knows how to utilize his wide receivers. Ja'Cory Barnes is going to be utilized at a rate we've never seen before. Okay, it's not just going to be jet sweeps and screens like we saw last year. He's going to get a lot of intermediate routes. Okay, a lot of comebacks, a lot of slants right down the middle. Okay, it should be reminded to you that Dana Holgorsen and DeKel Shorts also developed Tank Dell, who is one of the best receivers in college football, now with the Houston Texans, who is the exact same frame as Ja'Cory Barnes. Okay, and Dana Holgorsen said just recently that he reminds him a lot of Tank Dell. So Ja'Cory Barnes is going to have a big year. Okay, I expect a guy like Isaiah Hunter to have a really big year with Nebraska, with his skill set, with his utility knife ability. Dane Key, of course, is really going to be really good. Okay, Dana Holgorsen, the mold of a receiver that he likes, size and speed. Okay, size and speed, but speed over everything. That's the difference between Satterfield likes size more than speed. Holgorsen, he likes speed. If you got speed, you'll get on the field. You can be 5'10", it don't matter. You'll play. So I'm looking at a guy like Quinn Clark as a guy who I'm a little bit concerned about. I don't know how he fits in this offense. In order for to be in a Dana Holgorsen offense, you got to be quick. It's fast paced, man. It's fast paced. I don't know if he can. I don't know. It'll be very interesting. So that's what we're looking at from a wide receiver perspective. Raiola is expected to make a lot of these intermediate routes. It's something he couldn't do last year. He did not throw great over the middle of the field, 10, 20 yards down. Couldn't throw those bullets in tight windows. Needs to happen in Dana Holgorsen offense. But what's the rushing game going to look like next year? And what's the tight end game going to look like next year? I think Emmett Johnson actually is going to be a feature back. And I think he's probably going to get about maybe 20, 25 carries a game contradictory to what I thought a couple of weeks ago. I thought we were going to have, a balanced attack. We're going to get a power back in there. But really, looking at Dana Holgerson's pass, he doesn't like power backs. He doesn't utilize them that much. That's why Dante Dowdell is gone, because Dante didn't see a future in this offense. Okay, I'll tell you this. It's a big spring for Quinn Knives, but I could totally see Quinn Knives leave at the end of the spring because Quinn Knives does not fit this Dana Holgerson offense at all. He doesn't fit. Okay? He's like a polar bear in Arlington, Texas. What are we doing here? Okay? That'll be interesting to see. Dana Holgerson, he likes those shifty running backs, those guys who can block and catch footballs, but he likes guys who have speed. Once again, he doesn't utilize these power backs as much as you would think. And that was the biggest indicator to me that Dante left and that we got so many wide receivers in the portal, was that we're going towards running an air raid, running more of a passing offense. He would have absolutely got a running back if we were going to continue to have a power running game. That's just not going to happen anymore. You got to get used to it, man. Offenses change. So it's going to be more, of a one-horse show in that running back room. Emmett Johnson, very elusive. Dante Dowdell, no longer with us. Dana Holgerson really, really likes Emmett. And that's the only reason Emmett came back. Emmett does not like Satterfield. We knew that. Emmett didn't like some of these coaching staff, but Emmett loved Dana. And that's why he wanted to come back, because Dana believed in him. So that's really what the running back room is going to look like. It'll be interesting to see if they take a transfer. But I think at this point in time, if we take a transfer and spring at the running back spot, it's not going to be this power back that everybody wants. It's going to be kind of a guy like TJ Harden, who can catch pass, who can block, but it's not going to be a guy who's a really hard-nosed guy. What's a tight end spot going to look like? We can say goodbye to these two tight end sets that Satterfield loved to run. He loved to have two tight ends on the field. He loved to have Fedoni on the left, Nate Borgature on the right. Say goodbye. Those are gone. I mean, I've looked back at the Houston film, the West Virginia film. We're just not going to see that, and we'll see it every now and then, maybe on a third down, must-run scenario. You put in some extra bodies, but where we're talking second down and 5, we will never see two tight end sets. I really expect a guy like Card Nelson to thrive in this offense. I expect a guy like Mac Markway to really shine. I'm interested to see what a Luke Lindenmeyer can do, because he's a pure blocking tight end. I don't know how much his role is going to be. And part of the reason Borkature left is because Borkature didn't know what his role was going to be either, because he's a blocking tight end. Very, very interesting stuff. Hoiberg is also going to be interesting. I'm going to put Hoiberg in the category as a utility knife, because I don't think Hoiberg's a tight end. He just isn't. He's not big enough to be a tight end. He doesn't weigh enough. He can't block at a good rate. He's not a good I think it's funny. Nebraska fans always like to talk about blocking. They're so, can this receiver block? Can this tight end block? But Hoiberg they don't care about Hoiberg's like, we just want Hoiberg out there. Like, what? Like, Hoiberg can't block. You think Hoiberg can block better than any receiver or tight end on this team? He can't. Trust me, he can't. Hoiberg's going to be a utility knife, though. It'll be interesting to see how they utilize him, but I'll tell you this. Dana Holgerson has no alliance to Hoiberg. Okay? And Matt Rhule has no say in this offense. Part of the reason Hoiberg was just out there the past couple of years, the last year, was because they felt bad for him. If Dana Holgerson sees no place for Hoiberg in this offense, and he says, hey, Carter Nelson's a better tight end, I'm going to have Carter out there, or Mac Markway, Hoiberg will never play. That's just the way it is. That's not what we're going to do around here. We're not going to give handouts to you because we think you're a good player. You got to earn it. Or we're not going to give handouts to you because you've been you're a kid from Nebraska and you've worked hard. We're just not going to do that. So I don't know how Hoiberg's role is going to work in this offense, because I just don't see one. Janiron Bonner's another guy that I'm looking at. Like, I just don't know how he's going to be utilized, if he will at all. But that's what the offense is going to look like next year. Speed, fast-paced, a lot more passing. A lot of quick intermediate routes. Not a lot of deep ball threats, but we'll hit them a couple times with Jacory Barney. Isaiah Hunter's going to be that deep ball threat, as you'd expect. Going to be very, very interesting. But the big thing is the power running game is gone, man. It's gone. We're going to still have it to a little bit of an effect, but not like last year. Not at all like last year. We're going to win football games by Dylan Raiola's arm, and that's scary a little bit, man. That's scary. If Dylan's having a good game, we will win. If Dylan's having a bad game, there's a 0% chance, man. That's a little scary after how Dylan struggled last year, but that's just the way it is with Dana Holgerson's offense. He likes to air it out. You trust Dylan's development. We will see, but I will tell you this, Dana Holgerson, he's adaptable. It's not going to be completely an air raid. It's not going to look 100% like it did at Houston or West Virginia. It's going to be different. He's going to adapt to the Big Ten, to the weather. But you can just tell with these transfer portal moves, getting 3 receivers in the portal and taking 0 running backs and having this bad of a running back room, you know what they're doing. I don't think maybe you don't want to know. Maybe you want to still hold out hope that it's going to be a power fullback attack. It just ain't happening, guys. We're airing this football out for better or worse. Let's roll, baby. Dylan Raiola 2025. Let's see what goes on. All right, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Nebraska's offense next season. What are your thoughts? What's your outlook? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go big red. Go Rhule. See you in the next one.